Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. My name is Carly, and on this channel we talk about how to be more conscious creative leaders through the age of human disruption. And in this video, I wanted to go through what is a new paradigm leader really. I use the phrase new paradigm leadership often in the spiritual world. We'll hear more of the term new earth leadership. And so I just wanted to share some thoughts on how the entire paradigm of leadership is shifting, and how to identify whether or not you are embodying what would be new paradigm leadership, and how to recognize it outside of you. So these are just my thoughts, and look forward to hearing any thoughts or comments of your own that you have to share as we go through this very interesting shift in leadership. So first, let's just start with what is a leader. So the most of my life, I've always had people, um, every time that I said, you need to step into your leadership power. And even for myself, if I was coming into my own leadership, I found that people were very hesitant around calling themselves a leader. And I never really understood why until recently, because for me, leadership has never had anything to do with an organizational structure or a role that is given. So, old paradigm leadership means that only a handful of people or profiles or types are able to lead. And I don't believe this is true. I don't believe that this is actually a new earth, new paradigm concept. Where we're moving is from a handful of leaders to an empowered collective of leaders. Every single person being able to step into their own leadership energy, really embody that and understand that we are always leading each other. Right. We think of it as we're influencing each other, but when we're influencing each other, we are leading each other. And so, as we look at this shift and what is really important in the age of human disruption, in this time that is going to be very challenging on an individual and a collective level, it is even more essential than it has been in the past that we start to reframe our understanding of what it means to lead, and that each and every single person, whether you like it or not, whether you want it or not, leadership is on the table for you in your life, and it's something that's very important that we align to within ourselves and that we encourage and empower in others. It's the only way that the paradigm changes. Otherwise, we keep waiting for the great leaders to come in. We keep waiting for the saviors, and nothing ever changes. So, what are three qualities that I believe are the most important when it comes to new paradigm leadership? How to recognize it within yourself and how to recognize it outside of you. I'll speak to three kind of simple. Let's just keep it really straightforward. Three. I won't say laws, indicators, right, of new paradigm leadership. The first is that a new paradigm leader understands that the only person that they're ever truly leading is themselves, right? So the first understanding is that you practice on yourself. You must be able to lead yourself. You must understand what leadership means through the self and through your own journey, which leads to, and I'm sorry, that you lead yourself. And so, therefore, when you lead yourself, you are leading by example, right? And so, we hear this a lot. That's not necessarily a new concept by any means, but it's still very important. So, learning what it means to lead yourself and through your own self leadership, this is how we influence and encourage leadership around us, right? We lead by example. So in the past understandings and past structures of leadership, we kind of do as I say, not as I do, right? There's this misalignment in our leaders, and the idea that you can know better and yet do the same, and that's no longer an energy that we're going to be able to tolerate within ourselves or around us. So leadership must be embodied. And this leads to the second thing that I talk about, which is new paradigm leadership understands that everything is about love and that love is about honesty. So you can't be within a loving relationship with yourself, leading yourself, a loving relationship with others, and leading others if you're not in integrity, if you're not being honest with yourself or with other people. This does not mean that you share your every single thought and your every single feeling. I'm not talking about that, nor do I think that that's actually an example of it. What I'm referring to is that you make life decisions that are truthful to you, no matter what the cost is, that you pursue an honest life. And that this will allow, why is that so important? Because we can't really find our own unique creative expression, our own authentic expression of leadership if we are living in a dishonest way. Right. So I don't, there are certain things that I really enjoy doing, and there are certain things that I really don't enjoy doing. If I continue to tell myself a lie, I'm not really helping myself to come into my best version. And neither am I encouraging other people to then do what makes them feel good or what makes them feel joyful, right? The message that I'm sending is, yeah, you should not like your life and you should be forced to do things. And you should there are exceptions to some of this, but I think you understand what I'm saying, right? So it's if I can't live honestly, if I believe that the highest state that I would want for those who I love and those who I lead is for them to be aligned and joyful and be living honestly in their relationships with other people, in the work that they do, in their community setup, then I have to embody that, right? I can't, and that is that's certainly new paradigm. Old paradigm would say I have to self-sacrifice, or as the leader, I have a different set of rules. And it doesn't really work that way because the collective or the other mirrors exactly what you are. And so the best way that we can actually encourage the best for someone else is to embody the best for ourselves and and to live honestly, right? So leadership and love and action puts honesty and truth before everything else, even if it means there's going to be conflict, even if it means you're going to disagree. Right? That the pursuit is that of an honest life, and that is certainly new paradigm. We really haven't been there before, with the exception of maybe a few leaders. And the third one is that new paradigm leadership always, 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 always empowers the other. No exceptions, really. Um, well, I won't say no exceptions. There are always some things that I do think we need to contemplate on a little bit, but for the most part, um, it is always about empowering the other to think for themselves, empowering the other to make their own decisions, empowering the other to experience and have choice, empowering the other to have consequences, to understand the consequences of their decisions, empowering the other to step into their own ability to transform their life, to take action, to get themselves out of a tricky situation, right? It's the idea that um, the- I'm really bad at remembering little phrases, but the one where you don't teach a man, don't bring a man a fish, you teach a man how to fish, that one. Right? It's that same sort of concept. So when we are really embodying the new paradigm leadership, we're not going, I'm going to do it for you. We're going, you can do it yourself. I know you can. I'll help you. If you need my help and you're really listening and you really want to show up, then I'm going to help you and do the best that I can, right? To help guide, assist that process. Of course, there'll be a limitation to what I'm able to see or able to do or how I'm able to help, but I will do my best to help you to come into your own power, but I will not do it for you. The second that we do it for someone else, we actually disempower them and we go back into codependent habits, back into codependent structures, back into hierarchies, and back to needing saviors. So that is this particular video. What is a leader? You are a leader. Everyone is a leader. It is just simply shifting our brain to understand that leadership is not a role, it is a way of being, of taking responsibility and ownership and power back in your life. And therefore, it is something that we can all do. And at this point in time, we all need to do. New paradigm leaders can embody and can reflect and encourage on the outside that they live an honest life. They do their best to live honestly. It doesn't mean they're going to tell you every single one of their secrets or that they have to, but that they make decisions that are honest to them. They take responsibility for the consequences of those decisions, no matter what it costs, right? It's not out of a fear. I'm not going to say yes to something that I don't actually want because I'm going to get status or reputation or a big paycheck, right? That would not be the self-honesty sort of practice necessarily. So new paradigm leaders live honestly, live according to their integrity, their own compass. It'll be different for every single person, but you will see a consistency in what they say and what they do. Even if you don't like it, what they say and what they do will be consistent. And for yourself, it's the same thing, right? Am I saying as I do? Am I doing as I say? That the first person that you lead and the only person that you can ever really lead is yourself. And everything else is a mirror of what you embody. That we lead by example. We lead through our thoughts, our words, and our actions that are observed through the outer world, and then will encourage people and influence people to make their own choices because they see an example of what's possible. So we must embody, and new paradigm leaders will truly embody and lead themselves. They will not force themselves upon other people. And finally, um, empowering the other. We will see a lot of empowerment. We will see encouraging different perspectives and different beliefs to come to the table. No fear of disagreement, no fear of conflict, no censoring. Of course, there are some very small exceptions, but really, there's nothing empowering about that. There's nothing compassionate about that. It is all control. That is not new paradigm leadership, no matter which way you cut it. So that is a quick video on new paradigm leadership. I hope that you enjoyed it. More to come soon. Love and strength. Bye-bye.